And now, what you've all been waiting for. It's Coin Op TV Live, starring Robert Welkner and the lovely Hailey Bright. And now, give it up for your host, Robert Welkner.
All right. Welcome to Coin Op TV Live on the stream.tv. I'm your host, Robert Welkner. It's episode 324, December 10th, 2009. Very exciting show tonight. We got Joe Croft, who's the co-founder from, the co-founder. Oh, I'm so excited about tonight's show that
Episode 324.
I know. I'm just like, it's like there's like two more to go. Like before we go into the Christmas New Year's break, I just want to get it all out there. He's one of the co-founders from Gunnar Optiks, and we've also got Daniel Iassac on here to talk about Darksiders from THQ. We've got some coverage from Neversoft, some interviews that we did with the team behind Dante's Inferno. It's going to be a big show tonight. Let me go right into introducing my team so we can get the ball rolling on that. It's live, it's interactive, it's exciting. First up, let me introduce my lovely and talented co-host, the lovely Miss Hailey Bright.
Hey Rob, what's up? Good to see you tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I scoffed down pizza before the show with my guests, so I've got carb energy. Yes.
I'm so sad. What kind of pizza did you eat?
It was cheese and mushroom, and lots of soda.
Okay, I'm not as sad. I only like plain cheese. Did you ever see Home Alone?
Yeah, of course.
That's how I feel about pizza. You know where he opens up the box and he's like, one cheese pizza just for me. I don't know why you ruin it by putting all those other toppings on there.
Well, I had a guest, so I had to have more food to share with that guest.
Right, more mushrooms to throw on top. No, I'm just kidding.
Very cool. Let me introduce Brian, and then we'll give some shout-outs and go from there. You guys watch the stream.tv often, or most of you do, and you know him, you love him. He hosts some shows on here, and he's in between shows. It's Mr. Brian Gramo.
Hello. Episode 324. We have this, and we have one more episode before the end of the year. And to answer Hailey Bright's question, I will say that some of us don't feel full unless they have some meat in their meal. So I like to add some sausage or some pepperoni or something to that effect. Chicken, even if you will. I know maybe a lot of people don't do chicken on their pizza, but I don't feel full unless they have some meat. That's why I do that. Rob, I gotta say, we did LA riots together over the weekend, and I couldn't have had a better time. You did an amazing job setting that up with Gutex over there. I just want to congratulate you while we were on the air. I had a great time producing it too.
Oh, thank you. I think we have some photos of that up first, but let me get to Hailey and get some shout outs, guys. It's a live interactive show. We're in Stickam, Justin. Thanks for featuring us. If you want to IM us anytime to get a question, comment, concern, it's the stream all spelled out. No punctuation. With that, Hailey Bright, what kind of love we got in the chat room tonight?
All right, well, I want to give a shout out to TJ Slipperman and Maverick 2.0, Unknown Turtle, Fa, and let's see, I'm just going to pick a few people today. Drender, Crunchman, 2600, Snarfy, and he said I could have his cookie. Is that the cookie you offered, Brian?
He's a regular from the stream, and apparently the only thing he asks about, like, who cares how famous a celebrity we may have on? He just asks about cookies all the time. So that's his thing. Just
well, I feel honored then.
Make sure you have a cookie for him, and everything's fine.
Awesome. Okay, that's good to know. So yeah, that's it for my shout out list tonight. Short shout out list.
Very, very nice. Looking very lovely today, Hailey. I'm embarrassed that I didn't dress up for tonight's show. I missed the memo.
Oh, no, you look good. You know what I liked, Rob? Your jacket from last night. That was really sharp.
Yeah, I got some compliments. I'm going to wear that next week on the show because that ties in with my one of my Christmas gifts I'm going to give you. It's the same company.
Nice. Hey, did you bring photos from last night's event?
I did. Do you want to go into
I won't spoil it yet.
You want to go into some show and tell, Hailey? Now that we've covered all the bases, we've introduced everybody involved, we know about the show, now we're ready to rock it. Is that what you're saying, Hailey?
I am. Oh, and this is for Maverick. He was writing in saying, Hailey, I can't find Palo Alto. I really want to watch it. Just go to Amazon.com, type in Palo Alto. You guys can find it on there.
Very cool. All right, let's get to some photos. So Brian mentioned LA riots, the stream.tv, Coin Op TV, Gutex, some of our sponsors, Evo Energy Drink. We got behind and put together this 8-man double elimination Street Fighter 4 tournament, and it was cool. It was like about 3 hours of streaming, multiple cameras. It was highly complimented and loved by a lot of the people out there on the internet as far as compliments, and they said we did a great job. And let's see a couple photos. We've got Hailey did some pre-game interviews. There's Kai, I believe he came in 3rd place. She was outside in the lobby. And then we've got a photo of all the participants there, and then Combo Fiend took 1st place. He's got the trophy holding up, and Gutex wound up being one of the players as well, and Mike Ross and Kino and some of the other guys you might know if you're part of the Street Fighter tournament generation there. And it was a good time. Hailey, did you have a good time? You got to chat with some of the guys. They were very polite with you on camera. We were trying to get them to talk a little smack.
No, it was really fun. I'm excited. I heard that we're going to do an LA Riots too. Is that true, Rob? That's
right. It's not, unfortunately, I'm not breaking the news, but on Monday's GTFO, Gutex and Cammy unveiled that LA Riots 2 will happen Saturday, January 16th, 2009. Is that correct information?
2010.
2010. That's the, I said, I was leading into, is that correct, Brian Gramo? And I was leading into funny Gramo correcting,
Hailey beat me to it. She was right there.
Yeah, it's correct. But you guys should tune in. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, our first tournament was fun, so I'm sure our second tournament will only be twice as good.
If I could briefly explain why I was so happy about it. I've watched other Street Fighter tournaments. I'm a huge Street Fighter fan, and Street Fighter 4 is the new big deal. And I've watched it, and I always had a problem with the way they covered it. And I know people are trying to improve their coverage of it. And since we have so many toys here already rigged up at the Stream.tv with the ability to show the full screen gameplay and show the reactions of guys and add some graphics to it, I know all of the tournaments are kind of stepping up their game, and I wanted to throw our attempt into the hat. And I think for our first time, it was really good. We could just a few tweaks as far as camera angles and some additional graphics for next time, but I think the thing flowed great. We got it all done in less than 3 hours, and I think people honestly had a really good time in here. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, they had a good time. Funny thing, Brian, the comment I've seen the most was, who was that guy who kept talking in between the fights? Like, believe it or not, they're like, because we had new fans that we brought in watching the tournament, so they were like, who's that guy? So we're going to get the I'm Brian Gramo, I run the Stream.tv t-shirt.
We didn't have a lower third for me, and the policy that we enacted during that was we didn't have a lot of staff running it as usual here at the Stream.tv. It was Cammy, Gutex, and Rob, and me and Jared were running the production. So I told the guys over at the commentator booth, whenever you don't know what's going on next, or whenever you need time to stall, throw to me, and I will talk for an infinite amount of time in order to fill up space. And so people, as a necessary evil, had to hear me repeatedly, even though I'm not an expert at Street Fighter 4, but I did beat Gutex once.
Very cool. All right, so Hailey, I don't know, some of our fans, were they watching on Saturday? Any comments from them?
Yeah, they said that they had a really great time watching, and let's see. And next time they would like to see a little more, behind the scenes coverage, actually. Got a few comments about that. So maybe next time we can work in a little bit more of that. What do you think?
I don't know what's left. We can put a camera and on the roof for the garage, the outside part of the building, because we covered mostly everything inside.
Maybe next time what I could do is get near the players when they're warming up, because then maybe we'll get a little more back and forth action between them. Maybe a little more smack talk if they're warming up next to each other.
Yeah, that could be the case.
I know Gutex was pretty hardcore about keeping it 90% actual gameplay for the real hardcore people that were just coming to watch the fight. As a television producer, yes, I agree with you. I would like to even a little more background on the players and a bit more tension a la Ultimate Fighter or something like that. But that takes time to produce. And again, we did one shot. It came out good, and the next one should be at least as good.
Very cool. All right, let's move on, Hailey. We have an exciting week, a lot of events, things going on, a lot of games coming out the end of the year here. We went to our friends Jeremy and Chris through their annual ugly sweater party, and I wanted to show a few photos of that. Hailey and I got to ugly it up, and my sweater was actually borrowed from Aaron Darling, one of the hosts on Twending. So here's a photo, I think, of me and Jeremy starting off, Brian. There we go. There's the host, Jeremy, and so the idea was ugly sweater. Big party, good times, lots of fun. We could roll to the next one. There's Bo, Ryan, and Tracy, and me and Hailey. Hailey sort of made a makeshift ugly sweater. And then we ran into Chris Gore, who had a very fantastic sweater that I could only show from the waist up because it was naughty.
I want to shout out to the DCD because I honestly laughed out loud when I read your Twitter. You're like, at the DCD, hey, I got to go to an ugly sweater party. Where do you shop? I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Actually, Rob.
Yeah, all these guys on Twitter, they want to tease me, but once I give them a little jib, they go crying back to mommy and stuff. So, you guys want to tease me, I'll get you back. Right, Hailey?
I guess. I don't know where you're going with that, Rob. I'm sorry.
You're supposed to say, you got it, Rob.
Well, remember,
right.
the last time you were actually funny on Coin Up TV, you froze the TriCaster, so go easy.
Go easy on it? All right. Yeah, we don't want to freeze it tonight because we got a lot of media. We got some clips on location things I'm very excited about. And an exclusive bit of information from the guys at the Dante's Inferno team showing on tonight's show. So cool. Let's get to some more photos, and then we'll move into some more of the action. So last night was the Gamers United charity that we've been talking about, and here's some photos there. There's the DCD.
Speaking of,
there's the DCD, far left.
He looks so dashing in
We
his
gotta-
red shirt.
but the tie doesn't quite make it all the way.
Yeah, and this is them doing the Welks pose with the chins up. And there's Joe Mad on the right. He's with Vigil, the team behind Darksiders. And there's Andre, a black nerd comedy. Haley's going to do some bits with him on Sunday. And he was spinning, as you can see. And there's Haley and Joe Mad. Very lovely outfit you had on there, Haley.
Thanks. Oh, nice.
So Bo and I got there a little early. We were up in the hotel room, and there was a mechanical horse.
Real quick, this wouldn't happen to be the red dress you wore during your busy gamer shoot, was it?
No.
Okay, but that you were wearing a red dress for that. I remember it looked awesome.
And here's our man Kevin Pereira from G-Force
Whoa.
Attack of the Show. This is an exclusive shot. Nobody's seen this yet, Brian.
Wow, well, you saw it here first.
Yes, I tweeted. I
It's
said
a bit risque for Coin Op, don't you think?
it is. Yeah, I kind of thought you would throw in the censor bar there, but I guess we didn't get that on the memo.
Do you have the picture where I picked him up all by myself?
That's. I mean, there are going to be more photos to come from Mike from Blank Logos doing the photos. There'll be more to come.
Nice.
I just kind of rushed that out so I can have it for tonight's show.
Yeah, everyone should know. I picked up Kevin all by myself and held him for a picture. I'm really
He's
strong.
not a very big guy. He's kind of short.
Hey, don't kill my thunder. I'm not a very big
He's so
person either.
huge. I mean,
I picked
his
them all
mass
up by
alone would
myself.
crush most buildings.
Exactly.
Well, he did still have his car keys in his wallet in his pocket, so it could have been a little heavier that night.
Exactly.
So the Gamers United party, props to Chastity and Infus Gamers and all the partners that sort of got together and put that on. You guys will be seeing more photos about it. Now, the thing is, the party was to sort of launch the charity and the cause and stuff, and we still need your donations. We're raising some money. We're getting games so that we can revamp the teen lounge over the UCLA Medical Pediatrics Ward. So go to www.thegamersunited.org. Throw down some PayPal. You know, Ethan Newberry's show won't be on the air for 2 weeks in December. Spend that money wisely.
Hey, Rob, I have another question, too, from some of the fans. What if they had some games that they wanted to send in? Could they send them to the stream?
Don't send anything to the stream.tv because we want to let Brian have enjoy some of the time off for Christmas. But the address, email, phone number, all that is on thegamersunited.org.
Thanks, Rob.
You got it?
Yes.
Also, my shirt, props to Black Nerd Comedy, gave me the shirt.
That is a cool shirt, too. What is that from? I heard it's from, is it from Austin or from Texas?
Yeah, when he was back home for whatever break, he got the shirt for me. So
I like it.
awesome shirt.
Was it say Classic Gaming Fest?
Something like that. I just tossed it. I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
Do you sign legal documents you haven't read?
I-
Not as bad as wearing a shirt you haven't read, but still, I mean, it's in the same group of ethics, I believe.
Yes.
I want to give a shout out before we go on. I would like to give a shout out to Mac Attack, Darkwing, Wrestles with Angels, Unfiles Degenuini, I'm not sure how you say that, Sergeant Silent, and Ashley Killface.
All right, very cool, Haley. Let's get started with some of our digital media outside of the live studio. I went and interviewed Jonathan Knight, executive producer for Dante's Inferno this week. And what I did is, since we do the live show here, we can incorporate some of our viewers. I tweeted, I said, hey, give me some questions. So I had him sort of read some tweet response questions as part of the interview. So you'll see some of that and some exclusive information I'll tell you about after we wrap it up there. So, Brian, if we're ready, let's check out some Dante's Inferno.
So Dante's Inferno is a big, crazy action adventure. It's a loose adaptation of Part 1 of the Divine Comedy, which is a very famous and epic Italian poem, 700 years old, that is, the medieval vision of the afterlife. And in the game, you'll take the role of Dante, break down the gates of hell, fight through the 9 circles of hell, facing your own sins, and trying to rescue Beatrice, who's kind of the beautiful love of Dante's life. So Craig Hayes and Drink Moxie and Nerdvana want to know about our promotions and our gimmicks. One of the things that we're doing with Dante's Inferno that's really cool is we have this kind of 9 months of hell campaign, and it's really designed to take each one of the circles of hell as described in the original poem by Dante Alighieri, and take each one per month and kind of educate people about that particular circle and that sin. So the poem follows limbo, and then lust, gluttony, greed, anger, heresy, violence, fraud, and treachery. And those are kind of the 9 circles of hell. And each month we do kind of a stunt that's somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but brings a lot of attention to that particular sin. Hey, so Jester1701 wants to know about the Death Edition. And this is hot off the press, but I can't say a whole lot about it. You'll probably be able to find more if you go out and hunt for the information. But the Death Edition is a special edition for Europe only, and it comes with a lot of really cool exclusive content. It's got different packaging. It's got a bunch of special features in it that I think fans will be really excited about. One cool thing that comes on the Death Edition that's not available anywhere outside of Europe is that there's an exclusive skin, and it's the Iassac Clarke costume from Dead Space, and you'll be able to put it on your Dante character and play Dante's Inferno as Iassac Clarke, and that's exclusive to the European Death Edition, so have fun with that one.
So Hailey, the UK gets the Death Edition. Big deal. I had to sort of talk him into telling me a little bit about that because the embargo lifted on that bit of information today, and they were like, if you show that prior, we'll be coming to get you, breaking the NDA. So there you go. Big news. Very exciting. I got to demo Dante's Inferno. Looks great. We got a meaty, chunky, like really thrilling first 3 months of 2010 as far as games, and they're right in there with the mix. So very cool. Hailey, any comments from the chat room? What'd you think of Dante's Inferno?
You know what? Actually, they're like, hey, God of War 3 for the win. I'm not sure where our chat room's going with this, Rob. I'm gonna have to get back to you.
Well, it has some similarities to God of War because it's running around and very violent and hacking and slashing. But if you're gonna borrow some ideas from a game, you might as well take the top games and borrow ideas from there. Anything else, Hailey, before we move on to our first guest?
No, I'm ready. I have some really cool things sitting in front of me, and I'd like to.
You want to get on with it?
Out. Yes.
Okay, cool. So you guys have been going to tournaments or MLG. You might have seen the Gunnar Optiks truck or van or bus out there, guys showing things off, having a good time. They're good people, and I said, hey, you guys, come on the show. Let's check out some of your stuff. So we've got Joe Croft, one of the co-founders from Gunnar Optiks. Let's put our hands together and welcome Joe out. All right, Joe, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me here, Rob, and hey, thanks for that mushroom pizza. That was incredible pizza.
We shared the meat, as Brian would say,
That's
huh?
right, that's right.
That just sounded scary. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, that does sound scary. I saw Brian eating ramen earlier on one of his other streams, and that's a scary feature in and of itself.
Yeah, his ramen on today's Twending episode.
That's right, that's right.
So very good to have you on the show. We got to talk. We got props and stuff to show. It's digital performance eyewear. Tell me a little bit about Gunnar Optiks.
Gunnar Optiks. We do make digital performance eyewear, and that's eyewear that's for anyone that's looking at a video screen. That can be a gamer, that can be someone that's coding, that can be someone that's a web designer, a programmer, you name it. And with our optics, what we do is we relieve the eye strain and make the user more comfortable while they're looking at those screens.
All right, very cool. We're going to field some questions, Hailey, from the chat room as we go, but I want to get some of these out there, and I want to see some of these on you. So let me reach down. We've got, tell me, what do we got with the first pair here?
Well, hey, first I got to say, Hailey, thanks for dressing up today. That dress is absolutely beautiful, and you're going to look great with these glasses on.
Thanks.
So this is our rain style, and as Hailey, you put them on there, we can take a look at how amazing they look.
I feel very smart with these on.
You're extremely smart looking, and one of the things you'll probably notice as you're looking at your monitor there is your eyes are actually relaxing. Those optics will do some of the focusing for you so that your eyes don't have to strain so much to focus. So you'll also have an increase in contrast on the screen, And because of that nice tight wrap, they sit real close to your
yes.
face. They hug your face. Wow, that is stylish. Beauty. And so we put them so they wrap real close to your face so that it keeps your eyes from drying out. That's one of the things that we've noticed that with gaming and anyone that's doing real intense visual tasks, your eyes tend to dry out because your blink rate goes down so significantly. So that's the rain style. Why don't we try on another style for you there, Hailey?
Okay.
Joe, while she switches to the next style here, I got to say, had I known you were going to go this low and deep on your voice, I would have prepared some saucy music for this presentation here.
Sorry about that. You know, with all this discussion about meat and sausage and things like that, it gets me a little bit worried about this crew. But
All right, so we've got a little bit of a thinner, slimmer look here. What do we got going on with this pair?
this is called the Gem. And again, let's see Hailey there on the screen because she does look amazing when she's got those on. The Gem is extremely lightweight. It's a three-piece
feel very
style,
lightweight.
almost like you're not wearing anything. And so,
Yes.
I'm sorry about that one, but they are ergonomically designed so that you can wear them all day without any of the effects of a heavy frame in front of you. And for people that are staring at a screen, once again, you've got to have some of that relief of the eye strain, so that at the end of the day you don't get those eye strain headaches. And especially some of the people that like to game real late at night, that's one of the times that I feel the most effects of it is in those wee hours of the morning. So those look good on you. Why don't we try on another style while we're doing the fashion show here?
All right. Well, tell me a little bit about Gunnar Optiks for gamers, for regular people. Who are they for? What do we got here?
Like I said before, we've got a whole variety of styles, and it's not just for gamers per se. You can wear these in the office. You can wear them at school. If you're writing papers, that's all applications when you're looking at a video screen there. And so what we have is a couple styles that are very specific for the gaming crowd. We do have our MLG series, and we are the official licensed eyewear of the MLG. And those styles, the Legend and the MLG Phantom, have been real successful. In fact, we met up with you guys at the latest Anaheim event, and you saw some of our pros there that were wearing the MLG Legends. One of the real noticeable ones was Mason Cobb, a.k.a. Neighbor, and he did a great job with Team Instinct there. We would have loved to see him take it in the finals, but at the same time, we do see them for gamers and for just about anyone else that's looking at a screen.
All right, Joe. Now you mentioned the MLG Legend. I have the packaging for that. Looks nice right here. Now Brian, I believe, has a pair of these. Brian, can we get some of you modeling the MLG Legend in the studio there? There you are, looking pimping. Wait, let me get the sign here. Brian Gramo, everybody.
Very nice.
I will say that lately I'm addicted to Borderlands. Everyone knows that. If you log on to Xbox Live, 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, no problem, Borderlands. And the game is so fun and so fast that I saw somebody in the chat room, trying to be a jerk, and they're like, "Oh, it helps your eyes." I just blink; it's free, and I already have it. No. When you're playing a game like that, you forget to blink. I forget to breathe. I don't perform normal biological functions as you would on a normal schedule, and my eyes literally start to hurt. And so I'm going to use these, and I'm going to test them out personally and get back to everyone, because I am actually straining my eyes towards the end of the night playing Borderlands. So this could not have come at a better time, I say.
Well, good, Brian. And just to mention, it is amazing when we go and we study what happens to your eyes when you're looking at a computer or a screen. Your blink rate cuts in half for a normal user. For a video game user, a real intense user, your blink rate will go to 1/3 of what it normally is. And for our pro gamers, they'll go 3 and 4 minutes without blinking at all.
And I'm using Mordecai, and for those of you that don't know, he's the sniper, so I have to really, even with the best zoom I have, you do have to focus and wait till you get that perfect headshot to save your ammo. And my eyes have been hurting, so I can't wait to try these out in the real field.
Real world.
They do look good on you. They look even better on Hailey, though. Can we take a shot of Hailey? Sorry about that, Brian. But
all right, give an introduction to this line, and then let Hailey field some questions from the chat room. Let's see if they work in a practical arena.
Absolutely. That's Hailey. Like you said, you were wearing the Talon there, and it looks really good on you. And if we do have some comments out of the chat room, love to hear them.
What do you got for us, Hailey?
Oh, comments on these? Well, I have questions.
All right.
I mean, the comments are like, Hailey looks cute in glasses. Okay, let's see. So Maverick 2.0 wants to know, are there clip-ons for gamers who already wear glasses that you guys make?
How do we treat this issue? You have prescription glasses. What happens now?
Well, Maverick 2.0, thanks for the question. We do custom prescriptions for people that do have glasses. And since it is a custom pair of eyewear for you, they're a second pair of eyewear. When you sit down at a computer, you'd put on the Gunnars, and then when you get up for your general purpose, you'd use your normal prescriptions. Reason for that is we do tailor the prescription for that intermediate viewing distance, that kind of 26-inch viewing distance that's very, very typical for hardcore gamers there. So that's why we recommend a second pair of glasses for you.
So these can't actually be used for everyday use. One of our other viewers asked that. They're just for just when you're in front of the computer?
We do recommend them just for use in front of the computer. It's one of those things where it's very customized, specialized technology, and we didn't want to make a general purpose eyeglass. We wanted something that was very specific for viewing the screen.
All right.
Okay, I have a lot more questions.
All right, great.
Okay. So let's see. Mr. Paisley wants to know, do the lenses need to be yellow, or is that just like a fashion thing, or does it actually help with something?
It's not a fashion thing. It's actually something that comes from our background in studying physics and optics. The eye has a certain propensity to see different colors, and sorry for the big words, but in your typical office environment, in your typical LCD screen, you've got an overabundance of blue light, and your eye does not like to see that blue light. Instead, it likes to see the warmer colors, and your eye doesn't have to strain as hard to see those warmer colors. And if you want a real technical detailed analysis, go on our website, www.gunnars.com, and you can get the long kind of dissertation on there.
Can I jump in real quick from a nerd standpoint? I've meticulously gone through, now I'm a production guy, I've meticulously gone throughout my house and changed all of my lights to a color temperature of 3200, which is tungsten. Even my kitchen lights, I took down the regular kitchen lights and I got special fluorescent 3200 temperature bulbs. So am I gonna get all weirded out in my house? Additionally, as a two-part question, the backlights of TVs, of an HD TV, are 5600 generally, which is daylight. So is this to help ease that all around?
Yeah, absolutely, and getting that color balance is important because your typical office environment and a lot of your homes now with the cheaper compact fluorescents don't use a balanced spectrum bulb, and that is really harsh on your eyes. So that's one of the reasons why it's kind of like an equalizer for that light, equalizer for your eyes.
All right, and most people aren't a nut like me going and changing all the color temperature of their bulbs, so I can see how because that's why I've done it, because it does strain your eyes over time, and I've gone and performed that function around my house, but I realize most people have not done that. So I can't help but continue to compliment these.
Very cool. You're getting the plug from Brian Graham. I was in front of a computer. Brian, like me, we're in front of a computer or TV or something all day long.
All day long.
Yeah.
As most people, not only all day, but all night too.
Haley, we got time for a couple more.
Okay.
What Joe, tell us what the next look has with Haley, and then let's get to that question.
Well, she's got the stylus on, and that's one of our highest fashion lines, and it's one of our most expensive in the line as well too. But she looks great with it, and that again goes well with the dress. Haley, you dressed up for us, love it.
Thanks.
So the stylus, you can
these
find that.
These feel really good. I like these a lot.
Good, extremely lightweight, a real large coverage lens, because that coverage actually helps out when it keeps the eye from drying out. The bigger the lens and the tighter the wrap to your face, the more it retains the moisture and keeps the air from drying your eyes out. That's an important thing.
Okay, so there's some questions. Crunchman wants to know, how do they fare for playing in the dark? Did they cut down on glare at all?
They absolutely do. In fact, you can probably see that little bluish coating over the top. That's an anti-reflective, anti-glare coating. And the only thing that we have seen is if your room is completely dark, then sometimes you can see a little bit of reflection of your eyeball on the back of it. But for the most part, it does a great job of cutting out glare and does a real nice job in your typical multi-purpose environment where you've got light all over the place.
All right, Joe, now this last pair Haley's got kind of reminds me of, Haley was in a Spider-Man comic not too long ago, and her character wore glasses. Kind of reminds me of this pair here.
They do remind me of those glasses, the Victoria hand glasses.
One of my favorite pairs, absolutely, kind of has the naughty librarian look to it. That's called the anime, and they make you look extremely smart there if you're into the graphic kind of urban design crowd. This is a pair that'll look good on just about anyone.
Yeah, these are cool. I like them.
All right, Haley, let's wrap it up with one last question for Joe.
Only one. Okay. Let's see. Well, okay, this is an important question. BusyGamer.com wants to know, how much do these glasses cost? And to go along with that, one of our other viewers, Sean, wants to know, are they available on stores or can you only purchase them on the internet?
How do we get the goods?
Good.
They want them.
All great questions. Those are questions we love. The average price is around $100. We do have some that sell for less and some that sell for quite a bit more, depending on the frame designs and the styles. But we do sell at gunnars.com, or you can go to stores. If you go on our website, there's a retail locator there. Most of the stores are optical shops, so that you can get a custom prescription, get them custom fit, and you'll find that they're extremely helpful in the optical shops. We do sell in Trend Micro Center, which is kind of a nationwide chain of PC. They sell a lot of PCs, and we do sell in Play and Trades, which is a real popular game retailer. And so you can find a variety of places. And gunnars.com is a great place to look for retailers in your area.
All right, fantastic. Joe, you've been great. I'm gonna check out some more of your stuff. Let me get the applause sign, guys. Check out Gunnar Optiks.
All right, thank you to you and your crew.
You could stay right there. We're gonna introduce a video clip here. Haley, it's very nice on the modeling over there. Are you gonna stick to your favorite and keep it for the rest of the show? Is that the plan?
I don't know about for the rest of the show. Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see.
Very nice. I'm sure some of the kids at home who own some of the Gunnar Optiks are probably putting them on now, watching and getting in there. But
they are really nice. They do feel like really good on your face. And I wore glasses a lot growing up, so obviously I have experience, and they do fit really, really well. So you guys should try them out.
So very cool. All right, Haley, let's switch gears a bit because we got our guest from Darksiders coming out shortly. But Haley and I a couple weeks ago went to visit our friends over at Neversoft to take a little bit of a tour of their facility. They're sort of known for the Tony Hawk line, Guitar Hero games. Awesome people over there. So Brian, let's check out some of our behind the scenes from Neversoft.
Hey guys, I'm Haley Bright for CoinOp TV, and today we're going to take a studio tour with Neversoft. So I heard you guys have a lot of really awesome signed guitars from famous people. Apparently, you guys have some things signed by Van Halen.
Just a few things.
Just a few things. Can you point out some of those things to us?
This is from Alex Van Halen. This is actually one of his tour drum heads.
So you spent years actually working on the Tony Hawk series, right?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
And then you switched to Guitar Hero. Mm-hmm. What kind of change was that? Was that really strange, switching from a completely different type of game?
It was a bit of a different process, but there was some things that were sort of common to both. Like we dealt with a lot of skateboarding celebrities, and then we did Guitar Hero, a lot of music celebrities. So I think that stuff kind of went hand in hand. It's a lot of fast, fun Twitch gameplay too in both games, and so we were pretty good at doing both of those. But for me, I'm like a guitar player, a longtime guitar player, so just switching over to the Guitar Hero thing was kind of natural.
So I love Taylor Swift. I'm so excited that she was in Band Hero. And I love that you guys have a whole wall to commemorate this.
Yeah.
Did she really play these guitars for you guys?
She played some guitars for this for a motion capture session, but this one we bought especially for her to sign. But Taylor was out here right after she won the AMAs.
Oh.
She was on the East Coast.
Okay.
Flew out here that night on Red Eye, and then came here to do motion capture the next day.
Wow, so this is the room where all the famous celebrities have been, right?
True, the motion capture stage, yes.
Wow. So tell me a little bit about what happens in this infamous room.
Well, what happens is the celebrities will come here and they'll put on this spandex suit, and it has these little balls of reflective tape on them, and they get in here into the motion capture volume. And normally we have these infrared cameras set up all around this on this truss here. Right now it's set up for facial motion capture, so that's why the cameras aren't there. But they'll go in here, and the infrared balls will reflect the light off the balls, the tape balls, and then it'll map their movements into the computer.
This is a former glory, Tony Hawk. We did this about 9 games here, and I guess currently Tony Hawk Ride just came out the other day.
Oh yeah, I played it.
Did you?
Awesome.
You like the virtual board doing this stuff?
I did. I actually did pretty good.
You didn't kick
Rob
anybody?
in our game. Wow, this is a lot of cameras. So what is this all for?
So this is where we do the facial motion capture for all the songs.
Okay, and you sit here?
Yeah, normally we have the actor sit here.
I'm gonna pretend I'm the actor.
And he will have all these reflective dots on his face, and then we have the cameras track the movements. He'll sing every single song. He'll lip sync every single song. And then we'll track all the movements in the computer. The one exception being Steven Tyler, who actually sang
Who
every
actually
song.
did it.
Yeah.
And how does that work? Do you actually spin around all these cameras?
No, he'll sit facing here, and he'll face this way, and he'll read the lyrics on here, and they'll basically get the movement of his face on every single direction. That's why there's so many cameras, and then we sort of build an animation out of that.
Okay, so that was really fun. We had a good time at Neversoft, and I'm out of here with one of the guitars. Bye.
Hailey Bright making off with one of the autographed guitars from our friends over at Neversoft there. It was a good time. I hope you guys at home like that. Hailey, any follow-up to that there? What'd you think going to check out the studio over there?
Leon Jen was like, hey, Hailey, nice. You committed a felony on camera. Way to be sly. Yeah, you guys, I did steal the guitar. It was awesome. They didn't really let me keep that. But they did send me an awesome guitar to play on Guitar Hero instead because they know I'm such a big fan. And that has been an awesome guitar to play with, so thank you, you know, for the really cool guitar.
So you're on Expert now, right? You're playing guitar, you're going nuts?
I am playing on Expert. I played a little bit at Jeremy's party the other day, Rob. Did you see it?
Yeah, I was
You sang for some of it. We were hanging
singing.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm wearing the glasses because Sergeant and Silent said that they looked really good on me. So I'm sticking with the sexy librarian glasses. Very
nice, very nice. If we weren't already featured on Stick Em and Justin, I'm sure we would have been by now with those. Looking very lovely.
Maverick said I'm not a fan of the game and I'm an addict. That could be true. Yes.
I think, yeah, like if I go a week without playing Guitar Hero or Band Hero or something with Hero in it, DJ Hero now, like I just feel like something's been missing in my life. So I'm definitely an addict as well.
Yeah, I guess we have Neversoft to thank for that, right, Rob?
Yeah, that's why we had
harmonics.
We had the dragon feeding us our drug all like for the last few years, and we're finally Hailey and I were like, look, we need to find out where the factory is where you're manufacturing this drug that we're addicted to, and there it is. I don't know what else we could do besides go in the mind of the developers. That'll be the next thing. We're going inside the mind.
Movie Matt said he just got DJ Hero. You have that game, Rob, right?
Yeah.
Don't you play it a lot?
Yeah, that's like my game now right now. So
I haven't played yet. I need to play it.
Yeah, I got to come over and play it.
The reason I haven't played it is I'm afraid that when I start, I'm just going to be addicted, just like with all the other like music games.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good one.
So what else is going on in your life, Rob?
Well, I want to remind everybody that, so these clips that we have, these are the shortened, compressed ones, although that was a little longer than normal, but if you want to see the extended cut of the Dante's Inferno, the extended cut of our visit to Neversoft, go to my regular blog site. It's www.coinop.tv with a hyphen in between the coin and the op. I should be able to post these on the site today or tomorrow, later on today or tomorrow, so check that out. As far as what's going on, Hailey, I'm just very excited to bring out our next guest. And you guys might have heard us talking about Darksiders during the weeks or seen it at E3. The game looks amazing. I've got a trailer to show, and then I'm going to bring out the guests. So, Brian, if we could roll the Darksiders trailer.
The law is clear. When the seventh seal is broken, 4 horsemen shall ride forth to punish the wicked. Be they sons of men, lords of heaven, or the dregs of hell. You have defiled the law, horsemen. You will be punished.
Send me back, and the demons will have carried out your sentence. How did this happen?
What in heaven's name have you done?
I answer the call. I will punish the ones responsible. Can you restore the balance?
Hailey, it's so exciting. I got my new Xbox official magazine, and sure enough, Darksiders is right there on the cover.
Nice.
This came in the mail today. Very exciting. Guys, let me give him an introduction. Daniel Iassac is the creative manager over at THQ, working with Vigil for Darksiders. Let me get the applause, son, and bring Daniel on out. Come on out. Hey.
How awesome was that video?
I was blown away.
All right, all right.
Haley was blown away. I don't think she understands the Darksiders is as brutal and meaty like that.
It's pretty serious,
What
man.
does that mean, Rob?
I don't know.
I interviewed them in Tokyo.
That's right. That's how this all came about.
Yes.
We interviewed Joe Matt over in Tokyo, or Haley interviewed Joe Matt over there.
Yeah.
And now we're on the Darksiders bandwagon. We're happy to have you.
Yeah, man, happy to be here.
So, Haley, we want to remind everybody, we're going to take some live questions. For Daniel, it's the stream.tv all spelled out on the instant messenger is the easiest way, and Haley will also pop in and check some of the chat room questions and issues. So tell me a little bit, let's set up the game here. I know your character is war, there's some action. What else do we need to know about Darksiders?
Yeah, we saw some buzzwords in the trailer just now, like vengeance and betrayal. So that's a big part of the game. Basically what happens is the apocalypse occurs, and it goes not according to plan. It happens a bit prematurely. So War, being one of the ones who is sworn to clean up, to come down to Earth and wreck shop, he's the only one that's summoned. So basically he's blamed for triggering the apocalypse early, and the whole game is you figuring out who set you up. Hell eventually wins the battle between heaven and earth. Mankind is wiped out. So you go back 100 years later on an earth that's just completely overrun by demon architecture and foul beings, and you're there to clean up and figure out who's to blame.
Okay, very cool. Now, we're speaking about Haley and Joe's interview. Now, over there, Joe said that Darksiders is a little bit more of an adventure game rather than a hack and slasher from what we're seeing so far. Can you expand on that a little more?
Yeah, absolutely. We, I mean, you got trailers, you got 15, 30 seconds to catch somebody's attention. What do you show? We show a lot of combat because that's something visceral that you can, like, get a lot of attention with. But yeah, how do you show something that's like epic, like a Zelda or a Metroid, in that amount of time? So you're exactly right. It's an adventure game first and foremost. And it's this giant open world where you're constantly upgrading, getting new loot, new gear, where you can gain verticality and explore areas that were previously inaccessible. And on top of that, there's a really beefy, robust combat mechanic built in.
Very cool. All right, now Haley's clicking away over there. She's gathering the questions. I'm very excited about this game. It comes out in January, so there's not a lot of time to get our info out. So Haley, what is going on over there? Do we have some questions for Daniel?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's go for it.
Wow. Hold on. Let me figure out how to spell this say this person's name. Glacilusi. Okay.
See, Haley, what's going on
I
is
totally botched that chat name.
You took off the Gunnar Optiks glasses, and they can't.
Now I can't see anymore. I know. Okay, so they want to know: do you get to fight with or against any of the other horsemen in the game?
All right.
Well, that's the big mystery, right? Like I was saying, you're trying to figure out where they are, why they weren't summoned as well. So I can't really talk about it a whole lot without giving out some spoilers. But if you play Darksiders, you will get the answers to where the other horsemen are.
All right. There's an unveiling in the storytelling of it.
Absolutely.
All right, Haley, let's go back and forth to you a few times.
Okay. Kinjai Samurai wants to know, and I was going to answer it for him, but he said, did Joe Mad do the art for this game?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the most exciting things about this. Anybody that's a fan of Joe Madureira, Battle Chasers, X-Men, this is his world, and he's been there from the very beginning. This is every character, every environment is lovingly crafted by Joe's hand. So for those of you that don't know Joe's style, he was one of the first American artists that really brought like an Eastern influence to American comic books. So characters are big and bulky and exciting and asymmetrical, and yeah, it's this crazy Joe Madureira world.
Yeah, I was so Joe was at the Gamers United party last night, and I told him, I said, Joe, when you left the comic field, you did sort of make a lot of people pissed off because we all were really digging your artwork, your art style, Marvel and stuff. And this is kind of the first real grasp at what he left to sort of do.
Yeah.
So the anticipation of that is just very huge, and very cool. All right, Haley, let's see what else we got.
Okay, Liam Jen wants to know, how long did it take you guys to make this game?
Well, from start to finish, I mean, this game started as sketches in Joe Madureira's sketchbook, basically, years ago, and this is Vigil's first game. So for them to get ramped up, to get the team right, to get all the right artists, all the right animators, it's been about 3 years of a process. But really, with a full team on board, it's been about 2 years.
All right. That was an easy one, right?
pretty easy.
We didn't break any embargo.
No. Yeah, you guys got to ask some tougher
Hailey,
stuff.
give us a hard question.
Okay, Crunchman 2600 wants to know, as an interpretation of the End of Days, how much of the lore is original?
Well, that's the interesting thing, because we didn't want to use Christian mythology in the Bible as a real inspiration point. Really, it's just kind of a basis. Heaven versus hell, apocalypse, done. And so the rest is Joe taking the reins and Joe coming up with all the characters, all the weapons, all the environments. So really, it's a complete re-envisioning from Joe Madureira, and the only thing that is really used is there are demons, there are angels. There's no God or Satan. It's nothing overt like that. It's all pretty original.
Now, you mentioned sort of some of the weapons and things. What is the sword? I know the sword's got a clever name and it sort of does something. Tell me about this weapon this guy War has.
The Chaos Eater.
The Chaos Eater.
Yeah.
Sounds like something we need to have around here when Jared is having a hard time cleaning up the studio. We just get the Chaos Eater out to just suck up all the bad news, right, Jared? Yeah. What goes on with the Chaos Eater?
Chaos Eater is your primary weapon. One of the cool things about Darksiders is enemies are yours to dispatch whatever way you see fit. Environmental weapons, projectiles, guns, you name it. But the first thing that he gets that you start the game with is Chaos Eater. It's a sword that's roughly 8 feet tall. I don't know. If you saw in the video, it's massive. But the higher your combo chain gets, the more damage you deal. You're constantly racking up souls, which are pretty much your currency. They also work as health, and they work as they fuel your Chaos Eater. And once you fill up your Chaos gauge, you unleash Chaos Form, which is this big, brutal demon that's like 2 stories tall. Pretty much your smart bomb. You can wipe out anything with it.
Very cool. Haley, my parents are watching the show again, so we got to, we can't go too crazy with the Chaos Eater.
Oh, nice.
But what do you got over on your end?
Hi, Rob's parents. I love your parents. Okay, let's see. Brett wants to know, is there a multiplayer mode? And then one of our other fans wants to know, is there also online?
That's something we definitely discussed early on, the possibility of multiplayer and DLC. But we wanted to focus so much on War and really develop the character of War. So, no, to answer your question, no, there's not. But
I think people just want multiplayer like right out the door. But you're like a new IP.
Right.
You want to get the game done in a couple years so that we have it while it's still like next gen. And like a lot of people forget that Mono. Some of these other games that are all multiplayer now, they didn't start off that way.
Yeah. I mean, I spent so much time playing multiplayer games. But there's also a part of me that really wants an epic adventure where I step into the shoes of somebody like War, a horseman of the apocalypse. If you had to be somebody, I mean, that's a pretty cool character to assume. And his adventure is so massive and so epic that I don't think anybody's going to feel the need. Nobody's going to feel like, oh man, I wish I could have been Pestilence when it's all over with.
Pestilence and Famine, they get the short end of the stick. I wouldn't mind a little death action on a little bonus round or something.
Well, you'll get a little taste of it.
Brian, zoom in on the camera. What was this about, Death? No, I'm teasing you. Haley, back to you.
Okay, General Austin wants to know, is there anything you can tell us that's right in the border of things that you can't talk about?
That's what I was trying to teach you about.
It's my private life or Darksiders. That was kind of vague. I don't know what he's getting at. No, but I mean, if you want to come up with something a little more hard pressing, we got like 3 weeks till the game comes out, so I'm spelling it all out right now. If there's anything anybody wants to know, we can pretty much talk about it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, really?
Liam Jim wants to know, what do you think personally is the most original aspect of the game?
Well, as we alluded to Joe Madureira's involvement, just character designs, man, they're insane. They're so over the top. Your boss characters are like, for anybody that loves old school bosses, 2-story crazy monstrosities with too many limbs to count. This is that game for those people. So that's definitely one of my favorite aspects, is big towering boss characters. And one of the cool parts about the fiction that I love is the angels, the envisioning of them. They're more science fiction based. So while the demons are like latched together, technology of whatever they find laying around, angels have like lasers and grenade launchers and crazy sci-fi weapons.
All right, very cool. Haley, I think we have time for a few more.
Okay. I think that, this has been asked, I know, a lot in interviews in general, but Mr. Paisley and a bunch of other fans want to know, what sets this game apart from, God of War and Devil May Cry?
Well, we got so Darksiders coming out in January.
Yep.
It's like January, February, March are just like such huge titles. You know, Dante's Inferno, God of War, and stuff. And you're sort of leading the pack.
Yeah, it's a good time for gruesome games. Well, that's a question I love to answer because, as you mentioned early on, it's an adventure game. And on top of that, yeah, it's got really brutal combat and finishing moves. But what sets this apart is it's an open world that's constantly expanding, opening up more and more as a player progresses. Devil May Cry and God of War, games I love very much, but they're both very linear in nature. So the world is closing down behind you. You kill a boss, you complete an objective. It's all about forward momentum and pushing the player forward. Darksiders is about giving the player new tools, you know, every couple minutes, just constant feedback and constant upgrading so that they can go back, reach areas they couldn't before. For people who love collection and love just unlocking stuff, like the completionist, this is their game. That's what they're going to get with Darksiders.
Cool. All right.
Okay, I have a lot of questions. Zagos wants to know, can you talk a little bit about the design of the characters in the game?
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about, Sol Joe Madureira. So if you're familiar with him, you get a good idea right off the bat of what you're getting. If not, then big monsters, really crazy monsters, more than you can shake a stick at. And the main character himself is really asymmetrical and really different in design. Hope that's a good answer.
A lot of big shoulders.
Big shoulders, big hands, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of big body parts and stuff. Hailey, give me one more before we wrap things up.
Okay, Crunchman wants to know, are there any stats or upgrading like going on during the game?
Absolutely, yeah. That's something we really love about Darksiders. It's got a lot of light RPG elements in it. So the Chaos Eater, your Tremor Gauntlet, a number of your other weapons, the more you use them, the more they're leveling up, which means the more damage they can deal, the more moves you can unlock for them. Unlike some other games that deal in combat, you can purchase all of your moves, which means you've kind of got like a Street Fighter-esque arsenal in front of you. You're not learning 40 button press combos to dispatch enemies with. You've got this toolbox full of different moves, and it's up to you to chain them together, figure out how they work together. Plus, you've got gear weapons, which are used for traversal, but also combat. You've got a boomerang type weapon, you've got a grappling hook, you've got a pistol, and these are all bound to the D-pad. They can all be switched out on the fly, so while you're using melee combat, you can also use your gear items and basically like juggle an enemy in the air, shoot him with your gun. As he's falling, you hit him with your crossblade, which is like your boomerang. Then you hit him on the ground with another weapon. It's about giving the player an incredible amount of tools, and those all upgrade, and they all have different effects. So the game is just constantly, yeah, it's a barrage of upgrades.
All right, very cool. Well, listen, I can't wait. Luckily, we've only got a few weeks to go. It's, what is it, January 5th?
January 5th.
All right, and if people didn't get their question, if they want to know more, what's the good website or a Twitter?
Well, we have so much stuff on GameTrailers.com right now. We have a new video that went up today. I would go check there, and then the Twitter is twitter.com/Darksiders, and then there's also a community site which you can get to through the main site, Darksiders.com. I would start there.
All right, very easy. All right. Hailey, anything else over there before we wrap things up?
Yeah, I kind of have one more question.
Okay.
Glacius wants to know, is there a demo that's already available?
We don't have a demo. We're not going to do one because, you know, as I was kind of alluding to, what do you do with a game that's like Zelda or Metroid? How do you present a slice of gameplay that lets the player get a taste and know what they're in for? So it's such a big game. It's so massive. We didn't think there would be a slice that gave you the right experience, so no, you're not going to see one.
All right, here's the new rule in 2010. No demo, money back guaranteed on the game. You want to be the first to say it?
Yeah, I got some cash in my bank account, so I'll fund a few of them.
He said anything goes tonight. All right, Daniel, you've been a great guest. Guys, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. We want to thank Joe from Gunnar Optiks. We want to thank Neversoft for letting us come check things out. Hailey, want to thank you as well for doing a good job on some of these remote sections. And Brian for spiffing it up in the control room. We got one more show next week. The Megas are going to come in and perform. It's Mega Man's 22nd anniversary, and the Megas, a tribute band to Mega Man, are going to be in the studio performing. Stick around. Let me get the sign, guys. When we're here, we love you. We're very excited. When we're not here, we miss you. It's CoinUp TV live on the stream.tv. We'll see you next time.